Okay, so today I'm going to be going over a few trades I've been taking. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. I know I haven't uploaded in like 9 months, but yeah, I've just been, upping my trading game, getting better, you know, progressing, and here we are. So yeah, I have three trades here to go over. I'm going to be doing an analysis of each one, going through step by step of how I managed to catch these trades and how I set my targets for the trades. So yeah, I'll be showing everything. I'm not really going to be hiding anything. I'll just show you, my full process. And if you do enjoy this sort of content, please do leave a subscribe. Let me know in the comments and do like the video. It helps with the algorithm. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers here, so yeah, let's do this. Okay, so as you can see, we have three trades here. I have a 28-hour trade here, a 38-hour trade here, and an 18-hour trade here with tight stop losses. As you can see, a 2 pip, 2 pip, and a 3 pip stop loss here. These were all taken live. I'm actually still in this one right here with partials taken. I did take partials at certain areas, which I will show you. But yeah, this trade is still running. As you can see, it's up at um, well, it's heading for 19 now, isn't it? But yeah, I did take partials on this. I'm out of this one right here. I got out around yeah, it was 38 hours. Sorry, I did get out of that one. But this one I stayed in as it was an extra trade, and then this one I'm out of already as this was the other day. Before we get into it, I'd just like to say I'm not a financial advisor. I am not telling you how to spend your money, how to use your money, how to trade, or any of that. I'm just doing this for education purposes, and I'm not telling you how to do anything, how to where to enter, how to enter, any of that. If you want to seek any professional advice, make sure you go to a financial advisor, seek some advice from them, and then take it from there. Anyway, with that over, I'm just going to delete all of these and I'll show you how I got them entries. So if we cut back about here, so if we go to the daily time frame right here, okay, so we're on the daily time frame right now. As you can see, this is the daily, and I have skipped back a few candles um, to help you to to show you where the first entry was. But essentially, on the daily time frame, we're trying to see overall price, how price is moving, what's going on, and this helps us get the overall direction right, because you always want to have your direction right in your trades. Direction is the most important thing in my opinion. The entries don't matter as long as you can get the direction right. That is the most important thing. Anyway, so I generally tend to look at most recent price. I don't really use the daily to look at the overall price that is a downtrend or whatever. I just use it to look at the most recent price and aggressive price. By that I mean literally the last few candles to see what's going on. So we can see that it's been consolidating right here, but I'm not looking at that. I'm just looking at most recent price right here. And we can see over here, we had a break of structure, and price broke down. As you can see, by 2 days in a row, price was breaking down and it broke structure right here. If you were to go to the line chart, you'd be able to see what I mean. Price there was a lower low here and it broke down. Just generally, if you don't understand breaker structure or any of that, just look it up on YouTube. But essentially, price has broken structure here, and we've now got this candle here, institutional candle. It is the last up close candle before the down move. So we're looking for price to mitigate this and then continue in a certain direction. But essentially, we know we want price to mitigate this general candle right here, and we're gonna look for potential entries based on that. Actually, I'll keep that there so we know where the bottom of that candle generally is. We can mark this up as well if we want to. Um, Let me make this into a blue color. Actually, that one right here. So we can see that right there. We don't need to mark that up if we don't want to. Anyway, next we'll move down to the 4 hour. So this is what I did. What's important here, you can see there was a massive imbalance right here, and this was filled by these candles, and then this wick coming in kind of filled this, but price could potentially come back to fill this in. Remember, this is the 4 hour, but I paid my attention to this right here, so we can delete this big one. Because we have a nice order block right here. That price is attracted to like a magnet and it'll want to come down. As you can see, structure was breaking up. It took out, this liquidity right here. We care about liquidity too, but I'll get into that in a bit. But essentially, we're seeing price, break down, and we have an order block here. So I'll go down to the 1 hour. Now everyone sees, order blocks and things differently. There's a way I see it, there's a way you see it. So, I'm just gonna refer to the way I see it as an order block and an institutional candle, last down close, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna refer to them the way I see them. Um, so anyway, as you can see right here, we have last uploads sort of candle area before the price went down, and we also have a nice little area right here, which was an imbalance which was filled at almost around 50%. So that is kind of filled. It was filled to about around almost 50%, about 30% in. But yeah, so I'd be interested in these areas. I'd move down to the 15-minute time frame after that, and then as you can see, generally there's an imbalance here near this order block, which was interesting me. I wouldn't look at this area here because it was mitigated with this, as I said. But yeah, this sort of order block area that I was looking at based off of the 4 hour, I'm trying to refine it down and go down to a low time frame, see what we can get. So we have a bit of an imbalance here. We have this little candle right here. So then next I'd take it to the 5 minute. um and as you can see on the 5 minute, it lines up nicely. We have a little order block right here, our last up close candle, whatever you want to call it. So let me delete this and this. We're not interested in that anymore. Um, get rid of that as well. But as you can see, I'll change this color for you to a purple right here. We have a nice imbalance right here. Basically, what an imbalance is, it's a place where price hasn't cleaned up. I mean, there's imbalances all here as well, but I'm interested in this one because it's right next to the order block, so it gives it a high chance of coming over here. Now, I do like using the 1 minute. So if we go down to the 1 minute here, you can see that there's another little imbalance right here. So if you did want to really refine things down, you could mark this up. Essentially, we're not going to take the trade right here. We're going to wait for price to come in here. You could take the trade, right here, for a sell, like over there, or over, in the 50% of the imbalance, or on the order block, or whatever, or you could base it off the whole one. But essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the um, hourly, I believe, and actually let's take it to the 15 minute, and we're going to wait for price to come into our zone right here. uh, Either or. Well, it's pretty much the same thing, but we're going to wait for price to come there, and then we're going to see, how price reacts, so we can get an entry. You could just enter off of that right there. Um, but yeah, let's just see how this does. Okay, so price is coming close. You can see price tap. Okay, let's take it back. You can see price does tap into the zone. So that little one was a bit off. Like I said, you do want to use this overall thing, but you can see the price did tap into this zone right here, which I did see. If you did choose a lower zone, like somewhere here based on the thing, what you could have seen is here, when it did come into that sort of area, it did break down, but the only thing here is it left liquidity up here, and with liquidity they're going to come back for that, grab that, and then continue down. So if this was the case, I wouldn't have placed a position here at all, because I know that because they've left money up here, because people will have sell limits right here and stuff like that, with stop losses sitting over here, and they want the banks and institutions want to come back, grab that, and then continue the move down to make it a bigger move. Yeah, we did catch. If you did get a move here, you could have caught like 20 pips, but we're looking for the bigger move, the nicer move to get into. So you can see here it has tapped into the zone right here. So what we would look for is a nice entry. So yeah, as you can see, it did tap into here, and I wouldn't have taken that, as I said. So to get an entry, what you could have done is wait for a break of structure. So essentially what we're looking for is to come into our zone, maybe mess about for a bit and then shoot down. So it did touch the zone here, so we're looking for a break of structure. As you can see, it did break structure here. However, this isn't that much of a break. It's not that confident of a break. And as you can see here, it did tap into this. I did miss this area, so um I would have missed that trade. So I did wait a little bit for it to give me a nice entry. As you can see, it does go up a little bit, and that is the sort of break structure we're looking for. As you can see, it fully breaks down. This is much stronger than this breakdown here. It's got much more momentum. As you can see, this moves down like 10 pips, whereas this is about like 5. Yeah, and it takes, it does bigger moves. And if you're struggling with structure, you can use the line chart, as I said. But as you can see, structure was broken here. This structure was broken here, and that time it was that structure. But I prefer a stronger break. Plus, I did miss that. Otherwise, I potentially would have taken a little bit of a loss, and then looked for a better entry, which I would have got here. So using this, I marked up the 50% of this. I like entering on 50%. So yeah, after marking up 50%, I placed my uh, entry there, and I placed stop just above the structure, which turns out to be 2 pips, which was a nice little stop, a little tight stop. And then for targets, I was aiming for, if we go into the hourly, I'll show you how I was targeting this. So as you can see, for targets, I look for the area where the move started from. As you can see, the move started from down here, from this little institutional candle area, this last down close candle before the up move. Now we could look at these ones where there is a candle here, order block, which it can hit. It's most likely gonna come down to here, as it was a nice push up. There was some good momentum there. However, I'm looking down here. Mainly, I was actually aiming for this, but I know it's going to come down here. It's going to tap into here before making its move back up. Um, because this is where the move started. So it definitely should tap into here. But just to be on the safe side, I would have aimed for around this order block right here. And if you do go on the lower time frames, there are imbalances and things there which give you a bit more confluence that it is going to go all the way down there. So I believe I aimed somewhere down here. It was a 1 to 28. So let's set that to 1 to 28. It was just around here because I looked at some lower time frames, just to get a bit of a better entry. But I knew for sure it should at least tap into here a couple of times or once. I don't know. But yeah, so that was my general target. So if we go to the 15-minute, we'll see how this trade actually performed. Right here, just to speed things up a bit. As you can see, oh wait, I didn't actually show that, did I? But yeah, as you can see, the trade comes back up directly at 50%. It did go a little bit above, but not too much drawdown. Right there, it did go up to 50% right there, and then we seen the nice move down, a massive imbalance created here. And let's see, it hit our target nicely. As you can see, perfectly hit the target, and it also came into our area right here, into our last institutional candle right here. Okay, so I have gone a little bit ahead here. Could have caught some entries here, um because I knew it was going to come into this zone. At least I could have, looked at this candle right here, looked for some entries, but I was busy. I didn't really get too much time that day to look for entries. So, um, try again the next day. Well, the day after anyway. I was a bit busy over the last couple of days. But my next entry was over here. So yeah, I'm still looking at this last down close candle, because this whole move has been caused by this last down close candle here, causing the break of structure towards the upside. And so yeah, I'm still interested in this area. As you can see, last down close candles and last up close candles get tapped into many times. We've got one right here as well. They're always getting tapped into, and they're good to look out for. So they're always going to be, unlike an order block. It generally just gets used once and it's done, whereas a last down close candle will get used many times. And each time it does get used, it generally gets deeper. In this case, it did get lower, higher up here, but they generally get deeper each time. The more and more it gets used. So anyway, I was looking at this. But if we go on to the daily, as I said, we always start out on the daily. Let me actually get rid of this. But yeah, generally we're always starting out on the daily. And what I did here, I seen that. Remember, I look at close aggressive structure. I'm not looking at the overall picture right here, like what's going on. I'm only looking at the last couple of candles, like I said. And as you can see here, last time the structure broke downwards. This time, what's happened? Structure has broken upwards. They're doing a bit more of a mitigation on this. Last up close candle right here before the price went down. They mitigate a few times, like I said. So they've gone back for that, and I saw this and I had the feeling that they were going to come back for this order block, last down close candle right here, whatever you want to call it. So I drew a line here to show that structure's broken here. They've left a down close candle there, so we're going to go down to the lower time frame. I dropped to the 4 hour. I already had that marked, from the other day. I marked this as a potential area where they can come back, because what they can do is they can tap into this, move back up, and then come back for this um last down close candle area. But as you can see, overall on the 4 hour, this whole area was the last down close, and it's been tapped into multiple times. Um, but just remember, they can always tap back into it, so it's a good area to look out for. I do look out for multiple areas on this to make sure. Generally, I wait for it to come to my area and then I enter. I feel like that works best, but I do set limit orders sometimes on the general area. But this trade was one where I waited. Looking at this right here, I would lower this down to this sort of area. We still have this nice little zone. You just want to go down the lower time frames, refine. You can see this, just generally this area, that's quite a big zone. I'm more interested in this area, to be honest, because it's more likely to come back into this. That is a massive zone, but if we do see some rejections there, it would be a nice little area to trade. We can lower this now to potentially about this sort of area, but we still have this sort of zone that I'm waiting for it to get into, and then have a nice move. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Sorry if I've forgotten a few points, but I forgot to mention there is liquidity down here, which is why I was also expecting price to come here. As you can see, you know, with these touches, it generates liquidity, and spot and resistance traders are buying at the bottom here as a support, and then they're selling up here as a resistance, and so on. But we're not trading that. But it's good to keep an eye out. What's going on, but we're trading like smart money concepts right here. So yeah, so knowing this is a good a good thing to know, keep an eye out for. But essentially, there is liquidity being built here, so the reason I expect it to go a little bit lower is for a grab of this liquidity. So if we do play it right here on the hourly time frame, we can see it comes. All right, that was a bit too much. It comes into this, but we don't really see much of rejection right here. It literally, plows straight through this zone, so this zone's no go. And then when we do the next candle, you can see it taps into this, and then it flies up. You know what I mean? It goes up 12 pips straight away right there, and that shows you. While they haven't taken this liquidity right here, they've generated more liquidity. So I'm expecting them to come back down here, grab this liquidity to make some more money right here. So that is a potential future trade right there, because there is liquidity down there which they're going to eventually go for. But yeah, looking here, we can see it's rejected right here. So I did a bit of analysis on the other time frames, but essentially, if we go down to the 1 minute time frame, after it tapped in, I was looking around and stuff, trying to see a decent entry. Um, but yeah, I didn't really catch it at this time. I managed to, get in, see the market when we were around about here. I could have caught a nice entry because I did see it dropping down, but I did a bit of analysis, so I didn't really have much time. But I could have caught it here. The trade, because it was a nice down close candle here. After it came here, it broke the structure here, broke this high right here, and then we expect it to come back to around the 50%. So I could have placed a nice entry right here, because I did miss this entry right here. That would have been the ideal entry for me. Would have got more of a risk reward ratio out of it, but doesn't matter. We just wait for the next possible entry. My next best entry would have been here after missing that. So I did see this candle right here. Now I could have entered on this sort of area here, but as it is the 1 minute, there's not much of a difference. It's literally only like 2 pips. So if that does fail, I would have just got a re-entry down here. Usually you can lose quite a few times on the low time frames, but you do get these nice big wins, and that's the reality of it. You win some, you lose some, you win some, or however that's said. So For this, you can't mark out the 50%, but as it is the 1 minute, it doesn't really matter, because when you think about it, that's only like a 1 pips difference. So I'd rather just enter over here, get a nicer entry, and place a 2 pip stop loss right here, and we'll see how this performed. As you can see, it taps nicely in here, and then it rejects off of that going up. As you can see, this is good news. So what I do here, I go into like the hourly time frame right here. See, it did go up quite a bit. Actually, we can't see that. Let me go back down to the. So I generally would have, targeted some sort of nice area. By the way, I do take partials. So like on this one, I believe I took some partials here, and then I let it ride to here. My overall target was there. On this, it's best to take partials because you don't want to gain like 20 yard or something and then lose it all. Trust me, it's happened before and it's not nice. So yeah, this was a nice little area where I believed the price would come to and potentially reject, which it did. So I did take partials here. I believe it was about 1 to 20 though. One to was it? Yeah, about 1 to 18. I had it on a like lower time frame, basis, where my target was, but it was essentially there. And then my overall targets are actually up here, because we've got a nice pool of liquidity sitting here. There's money sitting here. There's orders sitting up there, and then we do have an imbalance right here as well, which was almost filled right here. But you never know, it can get filled out. And then we have this general order block right here. So yeah, this is where I was expecting price to get to because of them reasons. And you can go on higher time frames, do a bit more analysis if you want to for targets. It's always good to have partials in between. But yeah, essentially they were my overall targets right there somewhere. I believe I did close this at fully 1 to 38, so somewhere around there. But I did take partials along the way. I believe I took partials around here too, but I can't really remember exactly where the partials were. But yeah, so this was the trade. Let's see how it plays out. As you can see, it goes up a bit. As you see, it did reject around here as well, like I predicted. So that is where I did take my partials as well, because you never know, because it can come in here and then it can just come all the way back down, crashing down and take you out. So as you can see, that did hit my target right there. Which was a nice 1 to 38. I did take this out. As you can see, this has actually gone quite higher, and it's hit my take profit, I believe, on the other one. Let me just see uh, my other trade. Yeah, it actually has tapped me out at take profit. I did set my take profit just about here. I think it was either 50% or this, but it has hit my take profit. I just checked my MetaTrader right there, which is always nice. So yeah, we'll see what that got us. But yeah, essentially for this trade, our structure broke up. I think I was on the 50 minute, and I seen this nice imbalance area. Now this whole last down close candle, price will continually come into here and hit off of that, as it was doing down here, continually coming in. So price will continually come into this, hit off of it. As you can see, it came in here a few times to go back up. So I predicted that price would just do the same exact thing here. So let me just get rid of these this right here. Yeah, essentially we were in that zone, and within that zone, what do you see? There was a little nice beautiful imbalance right here that I would I would like to get a nice entry for that, because I mean there is an imbalance down here, but it's further off. I'd rather take the closer one, um and get a nice trade. With these ones I did wait. With this one I just set a straight up limit order. If I lost, I lost. I've recovered all the money from these trades anyway. It's just 1 hour I'm losing or whatever. On my trades I risk 2 to 3%. So this 28R is actually 3 times what it is, and this 38R is 3 times what it is. So on this, like again, like over 100%. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. So this it can be 1%, 2%, 3%. I personally don't recommend you risk more than 3%. You can risk 5%, but it is quite a lot. I generally just tend to stick to 3% per trade, and with these smart money concepts, you can lose quite a few times sometimes, and it can get frustrating. But you just gotta stick to your strategy and plan. So yeah, I believe did I go to the 5 minute? I can't really remember which time frame I was looking at here, but I believe I just I mean you can enter off of 50% of this right here straight out of the bat, but I you know me, I like refining down, going down to a nicer time frame, seeing if there's anything better there. I mean there is a little bit of imbalance right here, which we can mark up. Yeah, sorry if the chart's looking a bit ugly. Usually I delete everything. So if we go down to the 1 minute overall, do like the 1 minute. As you can see here, we do have a little order block there with an imbalance. But right here, what caught my attention, let me just delete all of this. So that was the original zone. What caught my attention more than anything is this last down close candle. Like I said, I do really like the last down close candles because price tends to bounce in and out of them. So I'd rather use that over an order block because I feel like it's more successful. It just works for me. I've been testing, and price generally tends to come in and bounce about. As you can see here, price did come in here once it's already tapped in, so I'm expecting it to come back, potentially go lower. Like I said, each time it hits in, it goes lower and lower. So from my experience, I would have used this last candle sort of area. I mean, there was an imbalance here, it's tapped into, and this general thing is tapped into, so I would have just on mine, I just believe I just entered based off of the high close of the I mean, sorry, the open of the candle, because I've tested that, and I've experienced through my experience, it works well. If you do it like this, so you just have to back test that sort of stuff. That just comes with experience. But essentially, I did that right there, and I believe, what was it, a 2 pip stop loss, because I just wanted it below this structure, and no, it was actually a 3 pip, because we did have this imbalance here, and you never know, it can just wick into the imbalance. So I just wanted to stay protected a little bit and make sure if it does come into the imbalance area, that I will have some sort of bit of a stop loss to cover me there in case it does go lower. And because that was just a limit entry, I didn't look to get extra entry there. So if we go to the 15 minute, I was targeting pretty much the same targets as this, but with this one, if I did get a nice entry here, if it did come back for me, I wanted to target the highs. I believe it was on the hourly. Yeah, so right here, this was running. Oh, I removed the wrong one. This was running to about up here, which is just about 20 R right there. It was 18 R when I started making this video, but yeah, as you can see, let me drop to the 15 minute right here. Let's move this out a bit. Play this, see how it performed. Um, Okay, as you can see, it tapped us in here. I mean, we could have entered on 50% of that candle. Where was it? Oh, in here, on the 1 minute, would have been a nice entry, a lot more cleaner. But we did have it came to about halfway of the stop loss, which is perfectly fine. Then, as you can see, following our analysis, it literally just shot up out of there. And as you can see, it was bouncing about. And as we were making this video, last 15, 30 minutes or whatever, it has tapped into our take profit. I did take partials on this. Where was the partials? Yeah, I took partials. Um, I believe I took partials when it hit like around here, and then I just wanted a couple. No, it was this one right here actually. Took partials here because it did kind of come in, but it just tapped into imbalance, so I thought it might hit this order block area. So I did take partials there. Sorry, this last up close. I did take partials there, and then I held the rest all the way up to here, which I got. I believe I rounded it off. I know you shouldn't aim for round numbers. Yeah, just call it 20. I can't really get it right, but I was aiming for about 20 over there. Yeah, you shouldn't really be rounding off, but yeah, so overall we caught 38 here, we caught 28 here, and we caught 20 here. So if my maths is right, that is 86 R in total. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did just pull out a calculator there. I'll do a quick edit there. But I did pull out a calculator. That's 86 R right there that I caught within the last couple of days, and that can literally set you up for the whole year if you wanted to. You don't really need to trade more after that if you don't want to. But you know me, I like trading like this quite often. It's nice trades like this. I generally try and stick to a couple of pairs. I don't try and go all out on all the pairs. It's best to stick to what you know. Euro USD is a nice pair that I actually really like trading. But yeah, if you did get this far, I understand it's probably a really long video by the sounds of it. It seems like I've been rambling on forever. But if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a subscribe, leave a like. Let me know what you thought of it. How your trading journey is going so far. And I guess I'll catch you in the next one. If you do want to see more videos like this, do let me know, because I did kind of like breaking this down. and I'm always taking trades, so I have a lot of trades to go through if you do want to see them. But essentially, I can go through them with you if you like. But yeah, if you did enjoy this, I'll catch you guys in the next video.